dudes! How are you lovelies doing today on this beautiful sunny Sunday afternoon? Once again, Sean at DSI has been an absolute legend and has given the keys to this beautiful Tommi edition Mitsubishi Evo 6. So yeah, as the name obviously suggests, this was a special edition car from Mitsubishi, launched in 2000, and it was built to basically commemorate Tommi Mäkinen's 4 World Championship rally wins. These were made in a limited run of only 2,500 models, so yeah, they're pretty rare. When they were made, they were £32,000 new back in 2000. Now, if you get an original one like this, but in the original Tommi Mäkinen colours, so yeah, the red and white livery, they fetch anything upwards of sort of £20,000 to £30,000. This one's a little bit different. It's like a sort of like a mauvey blue colour. They're quite rare in this colour. They don't quite fetch the same sort of price as the red and white ones, because that was the basically the original colours of the Tommi Mäkinen car that competed in the WRC. But yeah, I mean, these are still sort of commanding pretty high money. They were about sort of £8,000 to £10,000 about 5 years ago, and now they're upwards of 15. Obviously, as time goes by, the cars get rarer and there's less and less on the road. So yeah, the price just keeps going up. What's cool about all these Evos, as you probably recognise with the last RS we did, they've got pretty sort of close ratio, short ratio gearboxes, which makes the acceleration sort of super quick. As I will demonstrate now, we have a tiny bit of a straight. Let's see what she goes like.
That's good.
Not quite as aggressive as the RS we drove the other day, which had quite a few mods on it. Obviously the suspension on that one was super hard because it was running Öhlins coilovers. This one is definitely a lot more road friendly. The power delivery is quite linear. It's not quite as aggressive as the last one we did, but yeah, I mean, it sort of plants you into the seat. Like all the Evos of this era, it came with the very famous 4G63T engine, which is a 4-cylinder 2-litre turbocharged unit. They are pretty strong. There's people running sort of upwards of 400 or 500 horsepower on stock internals. The gearboxes are also pretty strong. Well, I say that, but I used to have an Evo 8 a few years ago, and I went through 2 gearboxes and 2 clutches, but that's probably because John was driving it. Yeah, on the whole, these are pretty reliable cars, generally speaking, as long as you don't sort of go too mad. The ride in this car is actually pretty good. I mean, it's actually quite soft. As a daily car, you could use this every day without any issues whatsoever. It does run Cusco coilovers, but they seem to be pretty, I think, on the softer side. I'm not actually sure on the spring rates, but yeah, it's definitely not bone jarring, and it's nothing like the other one we drove. Oh, yeah. Which was obviously better handling and more suited to a track, but when you're driving around the road and you've got lots of sort of mad cambers and potholes and God knows what else is on the road, yeah, having super hard suspension can be a bit of a pain in the arse. So we've got another little straight now. We're going to sort of go up to the top of third, see what happens. Oh yeah, it's good, man. As well as pulling power, these have got awesome stopping power as well. From factory they came with a set of Brembos front and rear all the way around. They can be a little bit squeaky, but I always think it's quite reassuring when you've got sort of big brake squeaking. It sounds a bit sort of race car like. Yeah, that's the only sort of thing to bear in mind. They can sort of be a little bit squeaky, but I'd rather have a bit of sort of squeaky noise as a trade-off for really good brakes. What's lovely about these Evos, they have a really nice sort of direct feel in the steering. They can be a little bit tricky to drive on the limit, because I mean they do sort of tend to slide. It wants to sort of drive like a rally car does. It wants to sort of step the back out. Yeah, once you sort of spend a few hours behind the wheel, you sort of get what it's all about, and they become a bit easy to drive. The one thing to note is that these cars have the worst turning circle ever. Yeah, where you could normally do a 3-point turn and turn a car around in a road, this will take like 5 or 6 goes. So yeah, that's the one thing to bear in mind. If you're trying to do tight London turns, it's probably not the car for you. Yeah, we've just stopped off. We're going to just do a quick sort of walk around the car and sort of show you all the lovely bits. Here's the beast in all her glory. Very nom. Inside, it's pretty similar to most Evo 6s, but yeah, you can see it's got the embossed Tommi Mäkinen Recaro seats, which are pretty cool. You've obviously got room in the back for your kids or your dog, which does make these cars sort of really practical. Obviously these cars were made in 2000 now, so yeah, they are sort of slightly more retro inside, but it's pretty cool. It kind of goes with the car. That's all the climate controls. You've got a little JVC stereo just to make a bit of a noise, and it's got a G-Ready Profec B boost controller running about a bar of boost. It's got quite a nice A-pillar pod here with a couple of G-Ready gauges. I actually love these G-Ready gauges. They're really simple. They haven't got any flashy lights, and they just do the job. They look very nom-nom. The only confusing thing with these imports is that the indicator's on the right-hand side. Obviously, a lot of European, English, American cars, the indicator's always on the left. With all the Japanese imports, it's on the right. So what you find is when you drive a normal car and you jump in a Japanese import, you end up putting the wipers on instead of doing the indicator, which is a bit annoying, but that's just the way it goes. This is the Crown Jewels, the famous 4G63T. Quite basic mods. It's got an air filter. It's got a bloody awful HKS SSQV. I can't stand these, but some people like them, which is fair enough. Considering the mileage and the age of the car, it's been kept in really, really nice condition. Why I'm also here, obviously Sean's giving us all these cars to review, so he's being an absolute legend. So if you guys could go and follow Sean's page, we'd also really appreciate it. You can see it there. It's at Drift Street Imports. Right, we've got our mics all set up. Let's head on to some nice B roads and eventually the motorway and see what she can do. Sort of major plus points in this car is it's super practical. You got 4 doors, you got room for the family or room for the kids in the back, lots of boot space. As a cost-effective solution to take your family sort of cross-country at super speed, it's probably not much of a better car than an Evo.
No.
Apart from the fact that brakes are really squeaky. But I like squeaky brakes. I think it sounds cool. Obviously not when you've got no pads in it, so you're sat doing it, but when you've got a nice Evo like this with some big chunky...
when you know it's Brembo squeak.
Yeah, Brembo squeaks better than Passat squeak. So yeah, if you're watching this video now and you are here within the first 24 hours of being released, if you check the comment section, you'll see there's a link to a competition where you can... Sorry. where you can win some free decals. We do the competition every single video we release, so yeah, just make sure you check the comment section within the first 24 hours of every video, and yeah, you'll be in a chance of winning some lovely decals. We're just coming onto the motorway now. Gonna open her up a little bit within the UK speed limit, of course. Around about sort of between 4 and 4.5 seconds depending on traction. Top speed was about 150 miles an hour. Obviously we're not going to be doing that today because we're driving on public roads. Yeah, it's got more than enough speed to sort of travel you around the country in style. These cars weren't really designed for sort of a massive top speed, they were more designed to be quick round a rally stage and have quick acceleration. Saying was actually be quite nice to sort of try this on a rally stage. We're obviously not going to be doing that today, so I think if I came back with half the body panels missing and stone marks of that, Sean probably wouldn't be best pleased. Yeah, it'd be really sort of interesting to see what these are like on an actual rally stage, on like loose gravel or wet mud.
If somebody's got one.
Yeah, if anyone's got one that's a bit rally spec and they want to let us do a bit of rally driving, then yeah, feel free to get in touch. Anyone that buys this car, I mean the power levels now are literally more than enough. You don't really need any more horsepower, but you have got a lot of tuning potential with this. I mean, all you really need to do is fit a slightly bigger turbo one, a little bit more boost, and you should be sort of pushing near sort of 350, 400 mark. These are quite a bit lighter than the newer Evos, like the 7, the 8, the 9 and the 10. So yeah, power to weight ratio is going to be a little bit stronger in one of these because there's just less going on, less weight. A lot of people do say that this was a sort of last true Evo. I kind of don't believe that. I mean, I used to have an Evo 8 myself, which I really, really liked. At the time, I sort of wanted a slightly newer car. I thought the Evo 6 was sort of a bit old school. If I'd known what the prices were going to do in 5-10 years time, I probably would have bought an Evo 6, but oh well, hindsight's a wonderful thing. video is drawing to a close. Yeah, massive thanks to Sean. As I said before, it's up on his website for just under 15 grand. So yeah, if you want to check out the car, just type in Drift Street Imports into Google, you'll soon find him. Yeah, big kudos to him for letting us drive the car. I don't really want to give it back. I quite like this car. Yeah, needs must. We're actually going to do a review on a C33 Nissan Laurel in about sort of 10-15 minutes, so we're going to go and do that afterwards. Also a car that Sean's selling. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been my first experience in a Tommi Mackin, so yeah, really enjoyed it. Yeah, make sure you give us a like, put any comments in the comment section, and we shall see you soon. Peace.